Hi, my name's Anita Velveeta, and this is Family Guy Season 1, Episode 2 in its entirety. I'm not gonna do the voices. Exterior established, Griffin's house, day. Interior, Griffin's kitchen, same. Lois and Meg look out the window. Stewie sits on the lawn, playing with brightly colored toy phone. Lois, oh, look at Stewie, isn't he adorable, playing with his Sesame Street phone. Exterior, Griffin's front yard, same. Stewie, on toy phone, put me through to the Pentagon. Ernie, voiceover. Do you know what sound a cow makes? Stewie, don't toy with me, Ernie. I've already dispatched with Mr. Hooper. I've got 6 armed men stationed outside Big Bird's nest. And as for Linda, well, it's rather difficult for a deaf woman to hear an assassin approach now, isn't it? Ernie, voiceover. Can you count to 3? Stewie, oh, indeed I can. Stewie pulls out a laser gun from behind his back and blasts the phone on each number. Stewie continued. As he shoots, 1, 2, 3, the phone is in flames. Stewie, can I count to 3? For God's sake, I'm already shooting at a 5th grade level. End of cold open. Act 1. Exterior. God damn it, I fucking hate this shit. Exterior, established Griffin's house, day. Interior, Griffin's kitchen, same. Stewie is sitting in his high chair. Lois attempts to feed him a forkful of broccoli. Lois, come on, Stewie, you know you can't leave the table until you finish your vegetables. Stewie sniffs the broccoli and pushes it away. Stewie, well then God. Stewie, well then I shall sit here until one of us expires, and you've got a good 40 years on me, woman. Lois, sweetie, it's broccoli. It's good for you. Now open for the airplane. Lois makes an airplane sound and flies the fork through the air. Stewie, never. Damn the broccoli. Damn you, and damn the Wright brothers. Stewie knocks the fork out of her hand. Lois, my, aren't we fussy tonight? Okay, no broccoli. Stewie, very well then As Stewie speaks, Lois slips a piece of broccoli in his mouth. He spits it out, indignant. Stewie, who the hell do you think you are? Lois, it's not gonna go away just because you don't like it. Stewie, well then, my goal becomes clear. Spears his broccoli with fork and holds it up. The broccoli must die. An ominous musical sting. Interior, Griffin's living room, continuous. Peter, Chris, Meg, and Brian are watching TV. Lois enters. Meg, Mom, will you take me out to practice driving? Lois, I'm teaching piano lesson in a half hour. Maybe your father can take you. Peter, sorry. Meg, Daddy loves you, but Daddy also loves Star Trek. In all fairness, Star Trek was here first. On TV, exterior, space. The USS Enterprise glides by. Kirk, voiceover. Captain's log, stardate 8169.7. Interior, bridge. Kirk sits at the captain's chair. He jerks radically from extreme position to extreme position as he talks. Kirk, the Enterprise has just discovered a strange new planet in the Gamma Philippa star system. Mr. Zulu, ahead warp 9. On the last pose, Kirk's underside is facing us. His pants tear, and we just have time to see the words Captain's Log printed on his underpants. Interior, Griffin's living room, continuous. Lois, for God's sakes, Peter, you've been sitting in front of a TV since you got home from work. Why don't you spend some time with your family? Peter, I will. I'm just gonna do it during the commercials, and if that's wrong, then well, maybe I'm missing the whole point of having commercials. Lois sighs. Meg, please, Dad, my road test is tomorrow, and you haven't taught me anything. Brian, Meg, you may want to find a better teacher than Peter. Peter, what are you talking about? I'm a great driver. Brian laughs. Remember your trip to the Southwest? Flashback, exterior, desert landscape, day. We see a classic wide shot of the Coyote Roadrunner desert landscape. Dust clouds flare on distant hilltops before one moves rapidly towards the camera in the foreground. Suddenly, a car comes out of nowhere and flattens the Roadrunner dead in the road. Tight on Peter, beep, beep. Peter, geez, did I just hit that ostrich? Full back to reveal the Coyote in the passenger seat. Coyote, no. Peter, are you sure? Coyote, yeah, he's fine. Keep going. Back to present. Interior, Griffin's living room, day. Peter, Meg, don't believe what they're saying. I always keep my eyes on the road. I don't miss a thing. TV announcer voiceover. We now return to Star Trek. Peter glancing back at the TV. Holy crap. Uhura's black? Interior, Peter's car. Later, Meg is driving. Peter's in the passenger seat. She pulls up to a stoplight. Peter, all right, Meg. Now here's your first lesson. Now you always want to be aware of other cars on the road. And if you ever catch eyes with the guy next to you at a red light, you have to race him. An Amish man sitting atop a horse and buggy pulls up next to them. He glances at Meg and doffs his hat pleasantly. Peter continued, "Aw, this guy's asking for it." Meg, "But Dad." Peter, "Aw, I don't make the rules, honey. Now rev your engine twice." Meg, reluctantly, "Okay." She revs her engine twice and looks over to the Amish man. He returns Meg's gaze. He pulls twice on the reins. Horse, bray, bray. The light turns green. Peter, go. Meg steps on the gas and the race begins. Meg takes a quick lead, but the buggy is able to keep up. Suddenly, the buggy loses a wheel. The Amish man bails out just before the buggy careens over a nearby cliff. Amish man, ah! The buggy hits the ground and explodes in flames. The horse stands up and shakes himself. Suddenly, the horse explodes as well. Back to the car. Meg is still driving. Peter, well, you forgot to flip him off, but other than that, nice job. Meg looks proud. Exterior, established Griffin's house, evening. Interior, Griffin's living room, same. Lois and Brian are there. Peter and Meg enter. Peter races to the couch and turns on TV. Lois, you're back already? That wasn't much of a lesson. Peter, well, I didn't want to overload her on her first time out, you know. Besides, Chips is about to start, so let's sit back and get lost in the world of California Highway Patrol fantasy on TV. Exterior, freeway, day. A car is pulled over on the side of the freeway. Paunch, dressed in way too tight CHP uniform, approaches the vehicle. Behind the wheel is a doe-eyed, gorgeous woman. On TV. Gorgeous woman, what's the charge, officer? Paunch, driving without my phone number. Paunch smiles at the woman. In the background, a truck passes with a sign on that reads, pure on cocaine. Two speeding cars behind him shooting guns at each other. Paunch continues smiling at the woman. Paunch, or maybe I should just arrest you for being too beautiful. Exterior, established Griffin's house, night. Interior, Stewie's bedroom, night. A stalk of broccoli is in the foreground. Stewie paces in the background. Stewie, so broccoli, mother says you're very good for me. Well, he runs up to the broccoli menacingly. I'm afraid I'm no good for you. The first rule of war is know thine enemy. And I know this. Stewie holds up a copy of Farmer's Almanac. Cold kills broccoli. It's so simple. All I need to do is build a machine to control the global environment. Forecast for tomorrow. To control the global environment. Forecast for tomorrow. A few sprinkles of genius with a chance of doom. An ominous musical sting. Dumb. Exterior, established Department of Motor Vehicles the next day. Interior, Rhode Island DMV, same. Angle on Peter and Meg staying a long line. Peter, this is taking forever. Come on, Meg, let's go. Fox is running one of those new reality shows that fast animals, slow children. Interior, television screen, cutaway. Exterior, woods, day. A sleek, graceful tiger runs determinedly towards his prey. Exterior, woods, simultaneously. A fat youngster who is out of breath slows at a halt. Fat kid calling OS, you guys go on ahead. I can't keep up. I'll be fine. Exterior, woods, day. The tiger is still running. Exterior, woods, simultaneous. The fat kid's lunch spills. Fat kid, oh dang, I got honey all over my legs. Exterior, woods, day. The tiger is still running. Interior, Rhode Island DMV. Back to scene. Dad, we can't leave now. My entire life depends on getting my license. If I can't drive, I'll never have any boyfriends, and I'll never get married, and then I'll have to adopt a kid like Rosie O'Donnell. Peter, Meg, are you implying that Rosie O'Donnell can't drive? Exterior, DMV parking lot, a while later. Angle on Meg as she sits in the car as Peter talks to her through the window. The DMV tester gets into the passenger seat. Meg, I'm so nervous. Peter, you're going to do great. Just remember everything I taught you. Exterior, street day. Meg pulls up to a stoplight. The tester is in the passenger seat. DMV tester, all right, let's start by going down Main Street. Okay, Meg, okay. A police cruiser pulls up to Meg at a light. A cop looks at Meg, Meg looks at him. He nods, Meg revs the car twice. She nods back and hunkers down, determined. The light turns green. Meg floors it. The cop gives a chase, sirens blaring and lights flashing. DMV tester, what are you doing? Meg, I'm driving, to herself. Duh. The cop car speeds beside and ahead of Meg, cutting her off. She skids to a stop. Oh my god, there's so much of this left. Holy fucking shit. Meg continued, oh, are you going to mark me down for not flipping him off? Into your car a little later evening. Peter drives a sobbing Meg home. Meg, oh my god, my life is over. I'm the biggest loser I know. Peter, oh, I know just how you feel, pumpkin. I've had my share of disappointments too. Flashback, interior, delivery room. The doctor holds up a newly delivered baby wrapped in a blanket. Doctor, it's a girl. Cut to Peter, who stands with 2 armfuls of sporting goods. His eyes dart back and forth for a moment. Peter, can you check again? Back to present. Interior car, evening. Peter, look, honey, if you just have to remember that life has its little ups and glances at his watch. Oh, geez, we're gonna miss the beginning of my show. Through the window of the car, Peter sees a family's living room. Peter, hey, there it is. Peter slows down to get a better look. Meg, Dad, watch out. Peter and Meg scream. Peter turns his head just in time to see he's drifted into oncoming traffic. He swerves off the road and smashes through a fence-parked Quahog cable television transmitter. The car crashes into a satellite dish. The TV that Peter was looking at goes into the snow. We see another TV go into the snow. Our screen follows going to snow as well. End of Act 1. Oh, like the static. I get it now. I get it. Act 2. This is page 18 of 54. Okay. Act 2. Exterior Quahog cable head. Moments later, Peter and Meg are still in the car. The front is smashed and steam is coming up through the grill. Debris from the satellite dish housing litters the hood. Peter, Meg, honey, are you okay? Meg, yes, I think so. They get out of the car. The moment they're out of the vehicle, the airbags deploy. They look around at the giant satellite dish they've just crashed into. Peter, read sign, the Quahog cable television transmitter. Uh-oh. Peter turns to see an angry mob walking toward them. Angry guy, hey, you just knocked out cable TV for the whole town. The angry man rolls up his sleeves and steps towards Peter. Peter grabs Meg. Peter, oh boy, hey, look, there's Bigfoot. The crowd looks over to where Peter points. Bigfoot is indeed there. Bigfoot, whoa, 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 this ain't about me, this is about you. They turn back towards Peter. Peter, oh well, at least that bought us some time. The mom moves in for a bit. Peter, pointing at Meg, she did it. Meg, what? Dad, you were the one driving. Peter slaps his hand over Meg's mouth. Peter, I was teaching her to drive, and she lost control of the car. Heck, come on, you guys were all doing stupid stuff when you were kids, right? I remember this one time I tried to sneak into an R-rated movie. Flashback. Interior, theater lobby, night. A bush slowly makes its way past the concession stands. Back to present. Exterior, Quahog, cable, end. Evening. Peter, come on, give the kid a break, huh? Angry guy, why should we? Peter, well, she's got her arm shot off in Vietnam. Now the whole crowd nods, understanding. They turn and walk away. Crowd, oh wow, poor kid, tough break, what a senseless war. Interior, Peter's car a while later. Peter's driving Meg home. Meg, I can't believe you just sold out your own daughter. Peter, Meg, honey, I know what I did was wrong, and I know this isn't the first time I've embarrassed you. Interior classroom, day, flashback. Meg sits in class as a math teacher is giving a lecture. Math teacher, and if you want to add the measure of the angle of the right triangle, the sum of all, suddenly Peter bursts through the door wearing just the towel. Peter, hey Meg, can you clean the... Hey, Meg, you mind cleaning the shower the next time you shave your legs? It's like a carpet in there. Back to present. Interior, Peter's car. Evening. Peter, I hate to see you so upset. Hey, I know, let's play a little game called Taking the Fall for Daddy. If you win, I'll buy you a convertible when you get your license. Meg, really? Oh, Daddy, now I love you again. Peter, proudly. You're just gonna make some Jewish guy a great wife. He puts his arm around Meg happily. As they continue to drive, we pull back to see the satellite dish from the cable company being dragged behind the car. Interior, a newsroom, day. Our news people, Tom and Diane, sit at the news desk with Channel 5 news logo behind them. Tom, because of an accident today at the Quahog Cable Company, all television transmission will be out for an undetermined amount of time. Of course, no one can see this news program, so it doesn't really matter what we say, huh? I'm the Lord Jesus Christ. I think I'll go get drunk and beat up some midgets. How about you, Diane? Well, Tom... Diane, well, Tom, I just plain don't like black people. Tom and Diane laugh. A stage manager leans in. Stage manager, you guys, we're still on in Boston. Tom and Diane share a look. Interior, Stewie's bedroom evening. Stewie sits on his floor tinkering with a converted see and say. Instead of animals, the dial can be pointed towards tornado, monsoon, blizzard, partly cloudy, etc. The stalk of broccoli is still nearby. Stewie, excellent. The weather machine is nearly complete. What do you say to that, Broccoli? Enraged, stop mocking me. Through the window, he sees Peter and Meg drive up. He spies the satellite dish being dragged behind the car. Stewie, what's this? It appears that witless provider has finally brought me something of value. I can use that crude device to amplify my deadly signal. Victory shall yet be mine. Interior, Griffin's kitchen, same. Peter and Meg enter. Lois and Brian are there. Meg, guess what, Mom? Dad crashed his car into the city cable transmitter. Lois, what? Meg, oh, it's okay. If I take the blame, he's going to buy me a convertible when I get my license. Meg runs out delighted. Lois shoots Peter a look. Peter, Meg, it's not exactly taking the blame if you go around telling everyone. Lois, Peter, you're bribing your daughter with a car? Peter, selling. Come on, Lois. It isn't a bribe, just another word for love. Look, yeah, you wanted me and Meg to bond, and that's what we're doing. Chris enters. Chris, Dad, I was in a chat room on America Online, and DoMe22 told me some idiot knocked out the cable. We could be without TV for weeks. Peter twitches involuntarily. In the background, we see Stewie through the window outside driving a souped-up Fisher-Price forklift over to the satellite dish. He hooks a cable to the dish and then tows it away. Peter, now, Chris, let's not panic. We can manage just fine without TV. Brian. Huh? Peter, what's that supposed to mean? Brian, face it, Peter. You're addicted to television, and you're not exactly Mr. Cold Turkey either. Remember that time you tried to give up candy? Flashback. Interior, Wonka Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka, flanked by a couple of Oompa Loompas, stands with his arms crossed, looking stern. I'll ask you one more time. Are you sure you didn't eat anything in my factory? Cut to Peter, who swelled up the size of a giant blueberry. He tries to look indignant. Peter, no. Willy Wonka, I'm just asking. Peter, what are you calling me, a liar? Willy Wonka, no, I'm just asking. Peter, hey, shut up, Wonka. Back to present. Interior, Griffin's kitchen, evening. Peter, well, that was different. It'll be fine. Lois, are you sure, honey? Peter, for God's sakes, you guys, you think I'm some simp who can't live without TV? Come on, give me a break. Cut to interior, living room, evening. Peter, into phone, frustrated. All right, Mike, what's happening now? Interior, Mike's apartment, same. Through a window, we see the Statue of Liberty in the distance. Peter's cousin Mike sits on his couch, talking through the phone. Mike, into the phone. Well, Sipowicz is trying to find out who stabbed the super. On TV. Interior, NYPD interrogation room, day. A street punk sits at the table. Sipowicz stands over him. Sipowicz, are you going to tell me what I want to know, or am I going to have to show you my ass? Street punk, I ain't saying nothing. Sipowicz turns her out, drops his pants, and moons the punk. Street punk continued. All right, it was Jimmy the Hat. Interior, Griffin's living room, continuous. Peter, disappointed. Forget it, Mike. This is actually, without actually seeing his ass, this is just radio. He hangs up. Interior, high school classroom, day. Meg sits in class. Her teacher, Mr. Proudfoot, stands in front of the students. Mr. Proudfoot. Well, class, we're scheduled to watch a PBS program on the mating rituals of the nude, large-breasted Wewak tribe of New Guinea. Unfortunately, Megan Griffin ruined TV, so instead of that, we're having a surprise test. The students angrily glare at Meg and crumple up wads of paper to throw at her. We push in on her face, a la Wonder Years. Daniel Sternish voiceover. Whoa, suddenly I was the public enemy #1. It was time to tell the truth. Meg, wait, I didn't drive into the satellite dish. Mr. Proudfoot, oh, Then who did? We push in on Meg's face again. Gently, snuffly, Waldenish guitar music plays. I was just a 15-year-old girl, but at the moment I realized I had a whole lifetime to make new friends, but I only had one chance to get a new car, and I had to take it. Meg, okay, I did it. Meg sinks down into her seat. The students pelt her with the paper wads. A moment later, a whiskey bottle whizzes by, narrowly missing her and shattering against a wall. Interior, neighborhood pub, day. Peter and Brian sit at a bar. Peter stares forlornly at the TV screen, full of snow, mounted on the bar. Brian sips a martini. Peter lifts his beer. Peter, geez, Brian, I don't know how much longer I can last. It's been a whole week since I've seen a TV show. Sigh, I wonder what Scooby and the gang are up to right now. A shot of Scooby-Doo and the gang. Over the last shot, we super the Scooby-Doo Murder Files announcer voiceover. We now return to the Scooby-Doo Murder Files. Exterior, swamp, night, cutaway. The gang stands over a wet corpse at the water's edge. Fred, gee whiz, gang, looks like the killer gutted his victim, strangled him with his own intestines, and then dropped the body into the river. Velma, Jinkies, what a mystery. Scooby, grossed out Scooby noises. Fred, you're right, Scoob, we are dealing with one sick son of a bitch. Interior, neighborhood pub, day, back to scene. Brian, well, you just need to find something to fill the void it's left in your life. Lois has her knitting, Chris has his video games, Meg's learning how to drive, and me raises his martini glass. I like the sauce. Sips his drink, frowns. Hey, barkeep, whose leg do you have to hump to get a dry martini around here? Interior, Peter and Lois' bedroom, night. Lois sleeps next to Peter, who's tossed and turns. He's having a nightmare. Peter, in his sleep, can't sleep without TV. Must see TV. Ripple dissolve. Peter's dream. Exterior, Dorothy's house, a la Wizard of Oz. We see a house being spun around in the air by a tornado. Interior, Dorothy's room, day. Peter sits up and looks in awe at the open window. A rocking chair floats by. In it is Elf knitting a blanket. Then Gilligan and the robot from Lost in Space pass by rowing a rowboat. They wave at Peter. Following them, Jeannie rides in a bicycle. Suddenly, the bicycle turns into a broom, and bewitching Samantha is riding it, dressed like a witch. She wiggles her nose at Peter. Suddenly, the house Peter's in bumps to the ground. Interior, Peter and Lois' bedroom at night. Peter awakes with a start. He grabs the TV remote and clicks it on. The screen is still just snow. He stares at it sadly. Peter, sigh. Exterior, established Griffin's house, day. Interior, Griffin's kitchen, day. Lois is cooking at the stove. Stewie sits in his high chair. Brian sits at the table reading the paper. Lois, Stewie, I expect you to finish off your vegetables. Stewie, oh, rest assured, you're relentless, Harridan. I expect that I shall finish them all off, and you as well. Lois sits at the table. Lois, Brian, I'm a little worried about Peter. Last night I woke up and he was channel surfing through the static. Brian, oh, I'm sure he'll find a way to cope. Peter enters, a cardboard cutout in the shape of a television just out on poles attached to his belt. Everything he sees is framed by the TV. Peter, morning, Lois. Brian, to Lois, ha, and you were worried? Lois, Peter, what the hell is that? Peter, it's my favorite TV family, the Griffins. Peter's point of view. Inside him, the TV frame, we see the family staring back at him. Lois, Peter, you're scaring me. I'm beginning to think you're losing your grip on reality. Peter, boring. I'm gonna go see what else is on. Peter walks out of the house. Lois takes off her apron. Lois, Peter, to Brian, keep an eye on Stewie. Lois runs out after Peter. Stewie glares at Brian. Brian, don't move. Stewie starts flipping his arms wildly in the air. His movement causes the high chair to shake and then topple over with a crash. Stewie, off screen. A little help. Brian looks at Stewie and then returns to his paper, sipping his coffee. Exterior, neighborhood street, day. Peter is walking down the street with his TV device attached to the front of his body. He stops in front of Quagmire's house as Quagmire exit. Peter's TV POV. Framed in the TV device, we see Quagmire walk to his car. Peter, hey, it's Glenn Quagmire, the wacky next-door neighbor. What's he up to this time? Quagmire, I'm going to work. Peter, haha, him and his crazy get-rich schemes. Quagmire stares at Peter. Stop retweeting it. I'm already fucking doing it. God damn it. Quagmire stares at Peter quizzically, and as Peter continues down the street. Exterior, neighbor's street a little later. Lois and Chris drive down the street looking for Peter. Lois, concerned, we have to find your father, Chris. He's not well. Chris, I never knew anyone who went crazy before, except for my invisible friend, Colonel Shavitz. Lois grants at Chris a little nervous. Exterior, Quahog Street, a little later. Peter walks along Peter walks along looking at the world through his TV screen. Peter, hey, I got all the channels on this. Peter's TV POV. A couple of women sit in an outdoor cafe having coffee. Peter, off screen. Lifetime. Pan to a gray-haired couple in their 80s walking down the street. Peter, CBS. Pan to a group of African-American teenagers playing ball. Peter, hey, UPN. Pan to Quahog High School. Peter, all right, 90210. His TV frame. All right, so my phone hit storage, so there's a cut. You'll just have to take my word that I did it all in one sitting. All right, where were we? All right, 90210. His TV frame pans on the average-looking high schoolers. Meg runs up to him. Dad? Meg, Dad? Peter, Meg, what are you doing West Beverly? Oh boy, they're really reaching for guest stars in the 10th season. Meg, Dad, what are you doing? Get out of here. I'm already a total outcast because of you. Peter, now honey, you're just upset because you wrecked the cable transmitter. Meg, I did not forget it. What good is a car if I have no friends? To everyone, I didn't wreck the TV, my dad did. The other students turn around and gasp. The principal pops up in the front door of the school. Principal, what? A teacher pops up in a window and leans out. Teacher, what did she say? A groundskeeper pops out from behind the tree. Groundskeeper, Peter Griffin ruined television. A construction worker pops out from manhole. And he blamed his daughter. Parachutist lands nearby. Parachutist. Well, that's the lowest thing I've ever heard. Angry murmurs spread through the crowd. Lois and Chris pull up in their car. Lois runs to Peter's side. Lois, Peter, take that thing off and come home. Peter, hey, Lois, you're just in time for the exciting conclusion. Looks like some boob's about to get lynched. Hey, let's watch. Peter turns to watch the mob through his frame. The mob murmurs. Lois looks unconcerned as we fade out. End of Act 2. Act 3. Exterior, Quahog Street, day. Everything is fine as we left it. Construction worker. Hey, it's that guy who ruined our cable. Let's get him. The crowd murmurs as it starts to rush Peter. Lois steps between Peter and the crowd. Lois, stop. What's wrong with you people? Okay, yes, my husband is responsible for knocking out TV, but we should be thanking him. He's broken television's hypnotic spell over us. Now we can see the world for what it is. A beautiful place full of wonderful things just waiting to be experienced. The crowd is moved. Peter turns to man number 2. Peter, geez, another chick flick. Principal, to everyone, she's right. All the hours I wasted on that damn idiot box. I'm gonna paint my house. Parachutist, I'm gonna build a ship in a bottle. Old guy, I'm gonna push a hoop with a stick down a dirt road. The mob starts to disperse. Lois puts her hand on Peter's shoulder. Lois, I'll take you home, honey. Exterior, established, Griffin's house. Night, interior, Peter and Lois' bedroom. Same. Peter and Lois sits up in bed. Peter, I can't believe I let Meg take the blame. You're right, Lois. TV is evil. You know, I hear that Manson guy watches it in jail all day long. Interior, present day, cutaway. Charles Manson and TV watches TV in jail. Manson, if I had seen it, it's new to me. Interior, Peter and Lois' bedroom. Night, back to scene. Lois, you just went a little overboard. You need a little balance in your life. There are other things to appreciate besides television. Peter, trying. You mean like this lamp? Lois, oh yeah, okay, like the lamp gives us light. Peter, pleased with himself. I get it. Lois, and your family gives you love. You could spend some more time with our kids, Peter, and with me. Peter, what could we do together? Lois giggles. Peter, shocked. Lois, you got a sick mind. Lois, Peter, I'm talking about making love. Peter, oh, I thought you wanted us to murder the children and harvest their organs for beer money as they reach for each other and kiss. Established. Exterior, Griffin's house, morning. We look in on Peter through his bedroom window. Peter opens the window, smiles, stretches, and takes a deep breath. Peter, what a gorgeous day. Isn't it a gorgeous day, Mr. Sun? Angle on the sun, who's wearing sunglasses and holding a large white cereal scoops filled with raisins. The sun empties the scoops. Mr. Sun, it's always a nice day with 2 scoops of raisins, Peter. Angle on the exterior of the house as hundreds of watermelon-sized raisins crash down onto the front yard and the street. One of them smashes on top of a parked car. The car alarm goes off. Interior, Griffin's kitchen. Moments later, we can still hear the car alarm off screen. Meg and Chris are at the table. Stewie is using a screwdriver on his CNC weather machine. Lois looks happily humming as she cooks breakfast. She looks radiant. Peter enters, also looking radiant. Peter, top of the morning, everybody. He kisses Lois. Angle on Stewie. We see the sea and saw now has points for monsoon, blizzard, hurricane, and apocalypse. Stewie, excellent. Thus completes my penultimate adjustment to my weather control device. Victory is Ma. Peter scoops him up. Stewie, release me at once. Peter, guys, your mother was right. It'd be a crime just to sit around and wait for the TV to start working. Meg, great, you can teach me how to drive. Peter, Meg, there'll be plenty of time to drive when you're dead. There's a big world out there just waiting for us to grab it by the short hairs. Let's go. Montage. Exterior lake day. Peter and the family are in a rowboat fishing. Nobody is getting a bite. They all appear to be more or less enjoying themselves. Suddenly, Lois gets a nibble. She tries to pull her catch in, but the line gets a taut. Peter goes in to help her, and he can't reel it in either. Meg and Chris go in to help, and they finally reel in their catch, the creature from the Black Lagoon. They congratulate each other. Cut to exterior Griffin's driveway day. The Griffins are playing basketball with a hoop mounted over the garage. Chris comes in and does a slam dunk. Meg comes in and does a slam dunk. Peter comes in for a slam dunk, but doesn't get enough air and sails right in through the garage door. Exterior hill day. The family lies next to each other on the top of the hill, looking at the clouds. Chris points to the sky, and we see the bat signal. Then Peter points to the sky, and we see the same type of signal, but this one's a silhouette of a dog. Pride sees it and quickly runs off. Interior, Griffin's living room day. The family is playing Twister on the familiar board. We see them all entangled in one pile of arms and legs and heads. For some reason, there's a long tentacle reaching out to the blue spot. Exterior, meadow day. The family is setting up for a picnic in the field. Lois sets the picnic basket down, and Meg and Chris carry a big cooler. Peter takes out a large red blanket and waves it a couple of times to spread it on the ground. Suddenly, a bull charges into the frame and carries him out of frame. End of montage. You know what? This is really fucking stupid, but while I've done this, I've gotten like 10 new follows on Twitter, so can't say it doesn't work. It's just really fucking stupid. Interior, living room, day. The family, except for Peter, sits on the couch, looking completely exhausted. Meg, I'm so tired. This morning's fly fishing really wore me out. Chris, well, wake up. You promised you'd get this hook out of my mouth. Ow, ow. Chris turns to his face, and we see a hook in his cheek. Lois, now kids, your father is trying to spend more time with us, or trying to kill us. I'm not sure which. Suddenly, TV flickers on. Lois and the kids look at it, surprised. Interior, newsroom, day. As the TV comes on, Tom and Diane sit at their desks. Tom... Those Chinese sure like to spit, don't they? Well, Diane, I think that's the last report was so good, I think you deserve a spanking. Diane, playfully, oh, Tom, I don't think your wife would appreciate that. Tom, Diane, that frigid old cow lives in Quahog. She can't hear a word I'm saying. Stage manager, voiceover. Actually, we're back on the air in Quahog. Tom looks at the camera, not sure what to do next. Interior, Griffin's living room, continuous close-in on Stewie. Stewie, thank God they're Purell methods are once again distracted by the flickering box. Time to be bad. Stewie grabs his CNC weather machine and runs out of the room. Exit. Established the Griffin's house later. Interior, Griffin's living room, same. Lois and Meg sit at the couch watching TV. Peter comes in dressed in lederhosen. Peter, come on, everyone. We're late for the Bavarian Pork Festival. You do know those Germans. If you don't join the party, they'll come and get you. Chris, but Dad, the TV's back on. Peter, what do you know? Okay, let's go. Lois, Peter, I'm thrilled that you want to go spend some time with the family, but we're exhausted. Maybe we could just sit and watch some TV together. Peter, why? We're too busy living life to the fullest. Come on, let's go. Chris, I'm sick of life. Brian, massaging his feet. Yeah, my dogs are barking. Peter, but I thought we were having fun. Meg, we were, but now it might be nice to watch other people have fun or get killed or, whatever's on. Lois, noticing, look, Peter, it's your favorite show. On screen, exterior space, the Enterprise glides by. Interior bridge, Kirk addressing his crew. Kirk, all right, men, this is a dangerous mission. It's likely that one of us will be killed. The landing party will consist of myself, Mr. Spock, Dr. McCoy, and Ensign Ricky. An unfamiliar Ensign Ricky looks down at his red crew shirt. Ensign Ricky, crap. Interior Griffin's living room continuous. Peter, sorry, Lois, there's only one show I want to see. It's a little something I like to call Make Every Day Count, starring Peter Griffin as himself. Peter stares at the door. Lois, oh, come on, Peter, don't you miss TV just a little? The familiar stories, the broadly drawn characters, the convenient plot turns that bring a character around at the exact right moment. There's a knock on the door. Peter opens it, revealing William Shatner. William Shatner. Hi, I'm William Shatner. My car broke down while I was on my way to give a speech about how TV keeps families together. Say, would you like to hear it? Lois looks to Peter, hopefully. Peter, no, I gotta run. I don't want to miss the all-you-can-eat schnitzel bar. William Shatner, wait, I love schnitzel. Peter, come on along. I bet you can squeeze into Lois Lederhosen. William Shatner, all changed in the car. Peter and Shatner exit, leaving Lois heartbroken. Meg stands next to her. Meg, if I had a nickel for every time one of my parents walked out on me instead of teaching me how to drive, I'd be one rich little Lois. Meg, let's go. Exterior, Griffin's backyard, day. Stewie's in the backyard wearing a Winnie the Pooh rain poncho. He scoots over to his tire hanging from the tree branch and begins swinging on it. Once he gets enough momentum, he launches himself into air, bounces off a trampoline, and springs onto the roof. The satellite dish is already in position. He hauls the weather device up next to him with the help of a homemade winch system. Once it's in place, he switches the dial past sandstorm and pestilence to freezing rain. Immediately, clouds begin forming and the wind picks up. Stewie stands proud. Stewie, farewell the broccoli. Exterior, Bavarian folk festival. Oh, not pork festival, folk festival. A German band plays. We see the German bratwurst stand next to a Polish sausage stand. The German vendor looks around cautiously, then rushes the Polish vendor and knocks him unconscious. He quickly changes the sign to German sausage. Again, he looks around cautiously as we pan to reveal a Czechoslovakian wiener as the Czech vendor senses something's up. Widen out to reveal the sky is growing ominously darker. Peter and Shatner here hold beer mugs as they sit together on a merry-go-round with motorcycles and sidecars instead of horses. William Shatner, I don't know, Peter. I can't imagine choosing life over television. Peter, I'm telling you, it's great, Bill. Yeah, the only thing that would make this perfect day any better is if my family was here. Heavy rainfall begins. Everyone runs for cover. William Shatner, my God, it was sunny a moment ago, but now it's pouring. Peter, hey, let's take off our shoes and run home barefoot. William Shatner, Griffin, you're a madman. Intrigued, barefoot, you say. Exterior road. Meg is driving with Lois in the passenger seat. They are caught in a torrential downpour and both look terrified. We see Meg's point of view out the window. She can't see a thing. Lois, this is not safe. I'll teach you how to drive some other time. Pull over. Meg, Mom, I can't even tell where over is. Exterior road, day. Peter and Shatner are skipping home barefoot in the rain. They are giddy with happiness. William Shatner, yeah, you were right, Peter. I've never felt so alive. Exterior, Griffin's house, day. Stewie, hammered with the elements, stands at his ground on the roof with confidence and poise of someone who's going to conquer great evil. Stewie, victory is mine. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning comes out of the sky and strikes the weather machine, totally destroying it. Knocked off balance by the blast, Stewie's little body rolls off the roof. He falls to the ground. Stewie continued grunts and curses. Exterior, road, day. A story approaches. Peter and Shatner plane a puddle. Car approaches. Enter a car. Continuous. We see over Meg's shoulder, over the front of the car, a bolt of lightning illuminates the road, and we see Peter and Shatner right in front of the car. Exterior road, continuous. Peter, yeah. William Shatner, my God. Interior of the car, continuous. Meg reacts, hits the brakes. Exterior car, continuous. Car drives through the scene. We hear a loud thump. Exterior road, day. Lois jumps out of the car and runs to Peter, who lies next to a dying William Shatner. Meg runs and stands over Shatner, distraught. Meg, oh my God, I hit William Shatner. Shatner still gesticulates wildly as he speaks his final words. William Shatner, light growing dimmer, can't breathe, beam me up, God. Shatner dies. We pan over a small group of people who stand off to the side. The last person is insignificant Ricky, who turns out a man next to him. Insignificant Ricky. Ooh, I did not see that coming. Dissolve 2. Exterior established hospital day. Interior hospital room. Peter lies in a body cast in a hospital. His family stands next to him. A nurse looks on. Meg, Daddy, I'm sorry I ran you over and killed Mr. Shatner. Peter, don't worry about it, honey. As soon as I get out of this body cast, I may do enough living for me and Bill. Lois, honey, can't we go back to the way things were? There's a big dent in that couch no one else can fill. Peter, geez, you haven't learned anything yet. TV took over my life once. I'm never going to let that happen again. Lois, oh my God, we've lost him. Brian, Chris, and Meg exit with Lois. Peter's eyes go to the nurse. Peter, hey, will you help me out here? I know an enchanted meadow where the blueberries are just begging to be picked. Nurse, look, buddy, just go in the pan and don't call me unless you're flatlining. She flicks the TV on and exits. Peter, hey, turn off that TV. Hey, nurse, on TV screen. Interior studio day. A man stands looking at the camera. Announcer voiceover, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Would you stand on one leg? Man 3, standing on one leg, sure. Back to Peter. As this commercial unfolds, Peter tries to move, but the body cast keeps his eyes trained on the TV. On TV, announcer, would you act like a monkey? Man 3, act like a monkey, ooh, ah, ah. Back to Peter. He closes his eyes. A moment later, one of them pops open on TV. Announcer, would you kill a man? There's an awkward pause. Well, back to Peter, continuous. From the TV, we hear a gunshot. Slowly, Peter is brought back in. We go close into Peter's eyes, now completely transfixed by the TV. We pull back to see now we're interior Griffin's living room day. Peter, Sans body cast, is sitting at Lois, Chris, Brian, and Meg around the couch watching television. Stewie plays in the corner. Meg, Daddy, now that I finally passed my driver's test, can I still get a convertible? Peter laughs, no, but I'm proud of you for getting your license, sweetheart. Lois, and I'm proud of you, Peter. You taught us all a valuable lesson. It's not what you do that defines the quality of your life. It's who you do it with. In your family, Peter, shh, it's on. Blackout. End of Act 3. There you go. If you watch this much, you're a fucking psycho. Please never come to those shows because I'm convinced you're gonna kill me.